Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, today we're going to make another video. All right, it seems like I've been making video after video about this guy, but we're making another one about your boy Mikey Garcia because it's being reported about Mikey Garcia, and this is out of his mouth, not mine. That he was going on about basically that money. He said I quote, money must be right to make Robert Easter fight happen. That's what he said. Basically stating that there wasn't enough money to fulfill his purse demands and Easter's purse demands to make the fight at 135 happen. And that's another opponent. This is another opponent in Easter that, look, not as good as Linares, not as good as Lomachenko, but he's still a good fighter. And I don't want to say Mikey doesn't want no smoke with him, but it doesn't appear like he's willing to jump and fight Robert Easter Jr. But here's what he said in regards to that whole situation in regards to Robert Easter Jr. He said, I quote, "He is willing to fight me and I'm willing to fight him. But when the purse was not really exciting, not what we both want, it's hard to get those fights done. And people forget, everybody wants to get paid. Everyone wants to get money. No one likes to take pay cuts. Whatever job you're doing, if the boss comes and tells you, I can only pay you this much because I don't have it in the budget, I'm sure you're going to complain about why they're cutting money. Nobody likes to take a pay cut. So we also want to make sure that we're being taken care of financially as well as in boxing." And then then he went on to say that I'm not saying that he's not worthy, but it just didn't make financial sense to fight in January. Maybe on another occasion we could actually get the fight made, but it didn't make sense for this fight. When it came down to person again, if the guy can't get paid for what he's asking for or generate the money that we need in sales to pay him what he's asking for or get paid to what we need to get paid, also sometimes the budget doesn't work. That's just what it is. That's really all he had to say. And look, man, I've said this in my other videos about Mikey Garcia. Obviously, a talent in the sport, a guy you could argue based on his talent is a top 10 fighter in boxing. But I've been saying this. I can't remember which video I said this, but I did say it. I said that Mikey Garcia, while being as talented as he is more businessman than fighter, which is good only if you can get the damn fights made. Like, I understand looking out for your career, but you got to get the damn fights made. And like, okay, he didn't fight Lomachenko because he wants no smoke with Lomachenko. He turned down an offer, a 50-50 offer with Linares, which by the way was not a multi-fight deal. And now he's not going to fight. Now he's saying he didn't fight Robert Easter Jr. because of the fact that there wasn't enough money involved. But last time I checked, he's fighting Sergey Lipinets, and it was reported the other day that he's going to get $3.5 million for that fight, upwards of $3 million to $3.5 million for that fight in the Lipinets fight. So my thing is, if you're fighting a guy like Robert Easter Jr., who nobody knows who he is a dangerous puncher, isn't really a ticket seller like most Al Haymon fighters. What realistically is Mikey Garcia? What realistically is he looking to make in a fight against Robert Easter Jr.? Because $3.5 million against Lipinets, there's no way that that's what he should be getting paid. That there's no way that's realistic. I'm not saying that to count the man's money. I'm saying that because Lipinets is not a draw and he's not a draw, so it just makes no sense to make these unrealistic demands. Like if you can get your money, get your money. I'm not hating on that. I'm hating on the fact that it just seems like Mikey Garcia has unrealistic expectations. And I told you guys, for those of you guys who brought up Bob Arum and Mikey not having a good working relationship with Bob Arum, and I told many of you guys, the reason they don't get along is because Mikey makes unrealistic demands. And here in a fight against Robert Easter, he's making unrealistic demands. Robert Easter Jr. is probably one of the few fighters that, like, look, he had a fight against Denis Shafikov. A lot of people thought he got robbed. I've actually never seen the fight. Still, probably should go watch it. But his fight against Richard Comey that I did see, I mean, the guy, to me, he proved his mettle in the ring that night against Richard Comey. That was a fight of the year. That was an exciting fight, and he was victorious in that fight and became world champion. Shafikov fight I can't really say much on because I didn't watch the fight. And now he fought Comey, he fought Shafikov, and now he's fighting Fortuna in January. So Robert Easter Jr. has shown in his career, his very short time at the top level, that he is willing to fight the best available opponents. I mean, that's a pretty good set of fighters around his weight class. You talk about Comey, who's no pushover. Shafikov, who's giving guys like Bartholomew trouble. And then Fortuna, who was once one of the top-rated guys until he got stopped by Sosa. So that's a good string of opponents for Easter. So regardless of what you thought happened in the Shafikov fight, you got to give him respect for who he's stepping in the ring with, on a consistent basis, trying to show that he's a true champion. So I don't put this on Robert Easter Jr. I put this on Mikey Garcia because it seems like in every scenario, and I don't get mad at fighters trying to get more money. I get mad at them being businessmen and making unrealistic demands. Because what do you expect against Robert Easter Jr., who's not a big name? He's not a big name. He's barely a big name in his own state, let alone boxing. So my thing is just like, okay, be realistic, Mikey. Like, you're getting 3.3 million to 3.5 to fight Lipinets. What do you expect to make against Robert Easter Jr.? And that would have been a good fight. If you would have taken that fight, and again, this goes back to what I was saying in my Lomachenko videos. If you would have stayed at 135 like he said he was going to do when he met Lomachenko in person face to face, then this would have been a guy that I would have been elated to see him fight in Robert Easter Jr. A guy that's tall, rangy, dangerous. Can give anybody in the weight class, pretty much that's in the weight class right now, a tough fight. So I don't know, man. I don't see I don't see why Mikey for one, I don't see why he kind of like snitched on himself, because I didn't know about this. But I mean, it's just another guy. It's another guy that, in my mind, I just think to myself, Mikey Garcia doesn't want no smoke with Lomachenko. He doesn't want no smoke with Jorge Linares, and he doesn't want any problems with Robert Easter Jr. as well, which is hilarious to me. So that's what it is. It did report in the article on Boxing Scene that they are going to sit down in the near future. It'll be Mikey Garcia and the president of Golden Boy Promotions. They'll be sitting down soon to discuss a Linares fight. Hopefully, Mikey can keep his demands realistic, because, I mean, it's like what these fighters don't get it. Like, okay, they talk about being stars and all this BS, but you can't become a star in boxing, right? And please get this through your head, fighters and fight fans. You can't become a star in boxing unless you take the Mayweather route and you just play the villain and you can get people to hate you. Unless you go that route, you can't become a star in boxing without having scintillating, captivating, entertaining fights. You can't. There is no way around it. There's no way around it. So if Mikey wants to become this pay-per-view star, that he always talks about being, he has to step in the ring with better opponents that are going to push him to be better. You can't fight Zlatakin, you can't fight Rojas, and you can't fight Adrian Broner and expect to be a superstar. You can't. You have to go fight the Linares. You got to fight the Lomachenkos, and even Robert Easter Jr.'s guys who could put you at somewhat of a disadvantage and force you to dig into your skill set. So, like, look, man, I don't want to hate on Mikey Garcia. Like, for those of you guys who think, like, Andre will retire, so BT got to find a new guy to hate on. It's not even like that. I love the guy as far as his fighting style. I love watching his fights. I think he's got a lot to bring to the sport. I just question his desire for boxing, because he said he's made it very known on many occasions that he don't really like boxing like that. Okay, so I question the fire in his belly to be great. I don't really care. I don't really think he cares about being great. I think he cares about just getting as much money as possible, which is fine. Get your money, but don't be mad when you're getting your money in fights that nobody cares about, and then you look back at your career when it's over and you say, "Damn, sucks that I didn't fight this guy. I should have fought that guy. This should have happened. I should have done this." Like, don't do that years down the road. So, for me, for any of these fighters in boxing, like, we just want to see them fulfill the potential, and I think Mikey Garcia can fulfill his potential. He's a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter. Win world titles like he's done in many weight classes, and beat the guys he's beat. Salido, Martinez. Even though in the Salido fight, you could argue that he quit. Regardless of the fact, he got the W, and it's a good name. It's a good win on the resume. So I don't know, man. I'm starting to think to myself that Mikey Garcia just doesn't want smoke with anybody that's a risky fight, unless he's getting a pretty much retirement check. Pretty much, unless he's getting a retirement check or like just getting paid a king's ransom, he ain't gonna fight Robert Easter Jr. And it's crazy, because if he's getting 3.5 for Lipinets, that to me in my head it's like, what could this man possibly think is realistic in the Easter fight? So I don't know, man. But that's what's being reported. Mikey Garcia talking about money, talking about the fact that the money wasn't right to fight Robert Easter Jr. But it seems like the money is not right to fight anybody. So unless the paper champion like Sergey Lipinets. So I don't know, man. But that's what it is. Hopefully, honestly, man, at this point, like I hope Sergey Lipinets gives him a boxing lesson and stops him. That's what I really hope happens. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's what I want to happen because I'm just sick of this guy. He's he's a diva in the way that like Andre Ward was or like Mayweather. You know, guys like that. Like he don't really care about being great like that. So it is what it is. And that's probably why I'm beginning to dislike him. Like I always knew he was a diva, but it's been really beginning to show more. So you know, I wish him the best in his fight against Lipinets, and hopefully, you know, he gets the fight done with Linares because I personally think he wants no parts of Linares or Lomachenko. And honestly, now probably Robert Easter Jr. too, who honestly a lot of people thought lost to Denis Shafikov. So the fact that not the Lomachenko fight, he won the 140 to avoid Lomachenko. He turned down a fair unification offer with Linares, and then now he doesn't want to fight Robert Easter Jr. because of, you know, he said the purse wasn't right for either one of them. But my thing is like, Robert Easter Jr. can't command in a title fight. He can't even compare. He can't command more than $1 million tops. There's no way because he's not a big name, so he's not gonna command more than 900,000 to $1 million. You got a bit of a name. You got a nice little following. So you in that fight like that, 1.5 to 2 million tops. Anything north of that range is ridiculous. So that's just my take on the whole situation. But let me know what you guys think. We know we made it clear on this channel. Mikey wants no smoke with Lomachenko. Mikey wants no smoke. He wants no problems. Wants no action with Jorge Linares. Is it the same with Robert Easter Jr.? Is Robert Easter Jr. a part of that club? And you know what, too? It's funny. Another fighter as well that he wants no problems with. I want you guys to notice he didn't move up to 140 until Terrence Crawford moved out of 140. So I know he beat Crawford in the amateurs. I believe he beat Crawford in the amateurs, but he didn't move up to 140 until Terrence Crawford moved up to 140. So moved out of 140, I should say. So keep that in mind. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every video, man, I'm Brendan Taylor. You know, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid in Dania. And that's Dania in South Florida, if you didn't know so. If you didn't know, get your geography up. And until next time, take care, guys.